beautiful Spokane Public Library. But what I mean is just, it's like that old school cartoon with that righteous brother who used to talk about, take a look, it's in a book. You know what I mean? The library is something that a lot of people try to stray away from because it's something that, a lot of people don't want to reach up into their minds and see what they can find. You know what I mean? Or reach up into that book and see what you could, you could take, retain, and then apply to your life, and it could really just be life-changing. It could be really life-changing, the things that you learn from those books or the things that you apply into your life and into your everyday approach. It's just something that you need to do, something that you need to learn how to do. And once you're able to do that, start doing that consistently and not being one of those people that hesitates to do that. And if you know how to do that regularly. Don't be the type of person who just is like unable to see things in their talent and then repels or run away from them. Because, you could really be impactful for what you got as your gifts. Whether you got that book, you got that, that short film, you got that creative edge that you just really need to put into the world. You know what I mean? You got that song you want to write, you got that content you want to create, you got that certain level of inspiration, or you got that certain level of motivation that you could change the masses with. How you doing today, brother? And that's what you always want to go with, is leveraging yourself, leveraging your creativity, and being able to see yourself in the likeness of the Most High, and like knowing that you can go throughout every day and literally trailblaze and walk down on water if you don't look down at your feet, and having confidence in your abilities and knowing that there's certain parts in life that you must always be able to have heart in and be able to have courage going through those, because you got to be bold and you can't repel from those certain things at times when so many people want to repel from the things that they got, when they need to just really embrace and start establishing their pace within they marathon and finding they lane. Because once you understand what it means, I got a book suggestion for those that are watching this and they like books. It's called The Kid and the CEO, and it's remarkable. It's just a lot. What's up, bruh? What's up with you, fam? How you doing? I see you shining, boy. Keep it up, man. But like I was saying, there's always going to be a point in your life and a point in time when you're always reminded of your platform and the capabilities of who you are as a person, and embracing it in the right manner for the right reasons, and seeing it as you know what I mean? Right here, Bloomsday Runners, the statues. But seeing that as a way for you to carve a lane and to be like a person that is like a sun ray, like a vessel, like an inspiration. You know what I mean? Somebody that is like worthy of coming from nothing and then making it into something, and being somebody that is influential and of use to the Most High God. Because then once you're able to go through it, then you can see through it. You know what I mean? And you can see through the illusions, and you're able to go the right direction even when nobody's looking. Because you know that you can't ever be swayed by them temptations of like the day-to-day, fam. You can't. You gotta be able to just maneuver in the right fashion, These little goofies over here, you can say and talk how you want, but one thing I'm sure that I'm being very, 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 very key note that you should be understanding is that if you got God's sponsorship, there ain't nothing that you can't do, man. If you believe in it and if you step out with the proper, you know what I mean, putting your best foot forward, and you willing to go and do what they said that you couldn't do, and you willing to step foot into them honorable and noble platforms, and extend your reach and be able to do things and talk about it and establish and be and walk yourself in the rooms and be respected because of that one key factor that I always gotta remember to put on my platform is the belief in yourself and having self-confidence and knowing that if God bless a child that can hold his own. So if you got a child and you can hold your own, you blessed and you could just move forward. How you doing today, ma'am? And as you go throughout that, there's always going to be a point in time that you always is able to just see things for what they are, opportunities to build with others and have that impact. You know what I mean? Because you could really be the incremental change that you should want to see in the world if you go throughout this day with that thought in your mind, like, all right, I'm gonna make sure that it ain't always about the money, because it ain't always about the money. It's like you get the money, what you gonna do with it? What is you gonna do? You gonna have an impact, or is you gonna just, the money in the hand of a fool could be his downfall, but money in the hand of a wise man could be something that it could be circumstantial, or something that could be, influential, something that could be monumental, something that could be unprecedented, something that could be just really something that world ain't never seen, just because you got God's sponsorship. So you moving with that level of confidence, knowing that whether bold or foil or whatever the case is, you got to approach that with, whether it be your content, whether it be that you want to get a book published, whether that you want to get your songs into the right hands and get the studio, whether you want to do a film, you want to act, you want to dance, you want to have an impact, whatever it is. So just knowing that it can be done and believing in that one simple fact. You see that right there? Clock tower, yeah, Spokane. But there's believing in the fact that you can do it. There ain't nothing that you can't do if you so choose, if you believe in it. Get a realistic plan of action. Get the right plan of action. You get everything that you need in alignment, and you start going the right direction. You know what I mean? Because you just put that best foot forward. You put that best foot forward, and then necessarily about like always having the money. You know what I mean? It's having the right sponsorship with what you do, and knowing that you could just step into whatever because you don't have no. We right here. We in motion. So if the volume was off for a second, forgive that, because I bumped the mute thing. But like I was saying, fam, you believe in yourself, there ain't nothing that you can't accomplish. And then you be realistic with yourself, there's always room for you to improve. And if you understand that, then you could do the things that you ain't never ever seen done around you, because you're the one who knows how to clean up your digital environment. You're able to go buy those books, take that quiet time for yourself, read those books. Then you're able to go look for applicable information that can make you, it can make you, because you could have financial instructors within your you know what I mean, within your your money getting ability, but those could be reshaped. And the thought process could be revamped by information that you're willing to go apply. Leveraging your credit, getting your credit right, and then using your debt in a good way, or becoming somebody who just is like a debt, but like you buy debt and then you sell the debt, or whatever it is that you want to do. It is all up to you. You want to sell cars, you want to serve drinks at a bar, you want to be a dancer, you want to be a singer, you want to be a haircut, you want to be a barber, you want to be whatever it is. It's just all about you knowing that you don't have to do that for too long, because if you make incremental stock investments, or you make incremental cryptocurrency investments, or you make in certain investments into whatever it is that you see fit, your own business, your own trait, your own vocational school. Most important investment you ever could make is investing into yourself and investing into those skills. And then you could be made timeless, but with your skill set. And as you go throughout each day, knowing that your skill set can be cultivated, and that as you go throughout life, you can always be inspired by those around you, or you could always be inspiring to those around you. You know what I mean? You could be the one that's like understanding your platform as a man, and you understanding your platform as a woman, and you really like, all right, cool. So I'm not gonna say nothing if I ain't got nothing good to speak on, because I'm not trying to dumb down these people. I'm not trying to dumb down the masses. I'm really just trying to be the betterment for my people, for my family. I'm just trying to really put good things in their ears so they can see themselves in a different fashion. They could just have that thought in their mind like, dang, I could really do something like that. And it ain't dang, it's like, yeah, I know it, right? Bro was right. I could be a stock market investor. I could be a realtor. I could be anything that I put my mind to if I stay up out the streets, minimize my distractions, stay up out the courthouse, and you just be useful to God in a way that when you got God's sponsorship, you're like on an each one, teach one type level. You know that it's about not necessarily only your immediate people, but being the embetterment for other people too, and being able to see the need in others, and being able to be better for your brothers, your family, your tribe, for your people. Because there's always those people that have just like, ugly duck, now you beautiful swan type stuff. Or, the runt that came up in underdog type shit, and now he's making monumental Showtime case events. You know what I mean? It's just like that. Knowing which way you're willing to go and how far you're willing to take it. Because it's like, there's so much culture, there's so much spirit within you. You just got to understand that the first thing you got to do is a lot of knowledge yourself, where you come from, where you grow up. I grew up in Spokane, Washington, proud member of the Spokane tribe of Indian. Where? So that's what I'm saying. My father, he got of African descent, and we just building upon knowing who we are, because knowledge itself is key, and then you can reach towards those things for inspiration, and those things for value, and those things for shout out to the military veteran. This is a military vet on honor statue over there for my grandfather's in the military, so shout out. You know what I mean? I'm not you got to give respect when it's due. But like I'm saying, you go this way, you see that? That's the beautiful Spokane, the beautiful convention center. The convention center, fam. So it's like knowing how to It's like, how you doing today, bro? Yeah, have a great day. But like I was saying, I will drop likes and subs or whatever, all that, but I'm just trying to keep the momentum of the conversation going. So like, just bear with me, fams. If you want to pop it later, go to subscribe, whatever, it's cool. But as I'm saying, you gotta always be able to just be the most type of use to your higher power, whatever you want to call it, fam. Because you got to know that you could be useful. It's like you could be like a flute, you could be like a sword, you could be like a whatever it is. You could just be of use. So then once you know that, you can start having an impact for not only yourself but for those spiritual faculties that you know that you really need to understand and have an understanding and awareness of, and be of use of righteous faculties. So then you could be the one that's able to really bring good karma on the bloodline of your family, and the things that are around you are able to be blessings, and they're able to sustain and be longevity into generation upon generations, because that right there is sacred. It's just that intention and that effort for the right reasons.